Hello everybody and welcome to this week's Markets to Watch from Smack the Markets for week commencing the 25th of March. Now this week is setting up to be, well, maybe quite an important week in the markets. We've got an important week for Brexit and the UK government. We're certainly going to know by the end of the week maybe which direction things are going to be progressing there. We've also had the US Mulliners report out on the alleged Russian collusion during the 2016 presidential campaign, and that reportedly exonerating Mr. Trump of any involvement. And that's sort of giving a little bit of a lift to the US markets at the moment. However, we're also seeing quite a lot of reports out in the news wires that US equities are starting to price in a forthcoming recession. So with all this news hitting the wires, let's take a look at some of the markets here that we're keeping a close eye on in the trading room this week. So first of all, if we come and take a look at the US markets here, generally we've been bullish here on the US markets, and the favorite one that we like to trade is the mini Dow future. Now the market here has been above the 25,500 key level here for a few weeks. With all this talk of big sell-offs, all that's happened so far is that the market has pulled back into a key technical level. It's also back into the moving averages, so it is into that sort of like value area where the market may well sort of find support. I mean, I look at these as a key decision point area. So rather than trying to sort of get married to which direction this market is likely to go, I let the market decide what it's going to do. But I think that there is a key decision point where the market is. So from here, if we can see more bullish opportunities, then we'll be looking for more longs and ultimately moving up here towards this sort of 27,000 area. As far as sort of sell-offs and as far as sort of recession sort of fears are concerned, the recent sell-off that we had at the tail end of last week is of really no sort of distance whatsoever. By the time we sort of start getting down below 24,000 and 23,350, by the time we sort of break out of this box to the short side, that's really where I think that the selling pressure is likely to come in underneath these levels down here. If we come and take a look at this on the daily chart, we can start to see some sort of perspective here. Trend-wise, these, of course, are not in the fantastic trends at the moment, but we can see that 25,500 is a key significant level on this market, key decision point. If price breaks below the current low of the 25,400, this is, if it breaks below that, then I think we could see intraday moves down here towards that 25,000 area. If the market can get a back up above, and we need to really start to see pushing above 26,000, then we can start to see potential sort of moves again towards the long side. So some interesting sort of areas here for the US markets. If I bring this into the 4-hour time frame, you'll see that these levels that I'm talking about are sort of pretty well defined. So we got 25,400 on the low test here. We've got our 25,000 down here that we saw on the daily chart. So break below the current daily low, then that sort of like opens up the floodgates really for a bit more of a significant move to the short side. In the near term, we might see some bullish action to the short side, but of course intraday we are in short trends at this moment in time. So for me, this is a very much an intraday market at this moment in time, and I'll look at intraday opportunities rather than any swing positions until we get some clear direction on the swing position and direction. Now, if we come and take a look at the commodities, our favorite sort of metals at the moment here are gold. They have been for a few weeks now, and you may well recall that we've been looking at gold long above the 1,300 level. That's now sort of broken out. It's starting to play out sort of quite nicely, and we're still seeing continued strength in gold going forward. And ultimately here on the higher time frames, we could be seeing a move up here. Certainly technically, we've got a target up here of the 1,350 area. So coming down the time frames, we can see here on the 4-hour time frame, pullbacks into levels, pullbacks into moving average zones as well are nice areas where we can start to look for opportunities to get positioned. We've still got plenty of distance to the long side, even within these sort of intraday profit windows where we've got 1,320 as the next target level, and of course 1,350 being the ultimate swing level as well. So still looking for long opportunities there, and still preference is long gold. We can see that gold has already had a move of a few weeks, and one of the metals here which is a little bit of a lagger behind is platinum. Now platinum is not the best sort of chart structure, but if we come and take a look at this on the weekly chart, we can see that platinum is just starting to turn around and starting to follow suit with gold. So we can see that the market is now at a key decision point area here. This is this 850. In fact, actually it's just above this 850 level at the moment. But the interesting thing is we've got to move up here potentially to, or the next structure point here is 900. And you can see that here on the higher time frames, that's the next sort of structure point. Now that's a huge move for this market, and certainly we got momentum to the long side at the moment. If we come to the daily chart, I think we can just sort of zoom out of this a little bit. Our 900's up here, but I think even realistically, even if we had some target levels around this 800 area here, there's still plenty of move to the long side there. And any position that we look at here is going to be nicely in profit by the time we get to this area here anyway. So opportunities on platinum could be nice, looking for a sort of a lagger to follow suit with that sort of gold market. And you can see here back in the 8-hour chart, opportunities where the market sort of pulls back into levels, back into moving averages is sort of the type of position setups that we look for in these markets. Now, if we come to currency markets, a lot of currency markets are looking a little bit sort of choppy over the sort of past few sort of trading sessions. One here that I think is looking rather smooth, and one of the better chart structures, is CAD yen. If we take a look at this from the daily chart, we can see that the market here is in the context of a short trend. It's had a huge move last week, as indeed a lot of these yen markets have. So the market is recoiling at this moment in time, taking a bit of this heat out of this move from last week. So we've got a level in here, as you can see, around 82,400. You can just sort of see through here, it's been previous support and resistance for many times in the past. If we take a look at this on the slightly sort of lower time frames, come down to the 4-hour, we can see that, again, if I zoom out of this, we can see that this 82,400 very well tested as previous support and resistance here on the 4-hour time frame too. And this is quite a nice area back into the moving averages where the market may well find some kind of resistance. We're looking at the moment, of course, in the context of short trends. We've also got the moving average zone sort of setting up right in the middle of that 82,400, and we've got that level as well. Even if we start to draw a fib study in here, that level is right in between the 50 and the 61.8% fib zone as well. So there's a lot going on here for potential market to find potential resistance up here, and an area where we'll start to look for shorting opportunities to see if we can get a short trigger to the short side here on CAD yen. So there's a few markets there that we're keeping a close eye on this week in the trading room. I certainly hope it helps and look forward to speaking to you on Wednesday's update. Bye for now.